Well, it's the Kill Team Casuals with the biggest build-up. If you're watching live, then that was a 4.5-minute musical interlude with no music as we walked slowly from the green room to the studio. But we're here and we're excited. Welcome, joined back in a big way, Ben, the champ Campbell from Battle Brothers Tabletop.
Wow.
A champ. Ben the champ Campbell. Happy to be here. Passing it over to Russ, the Beanie Queen from GSN Gaming.
Wow. You're the champ and I'm the Beanie Queen. Okay, this seems fair. And we're passing this over to the bogan Reese from Threes to Wound.
I was like, how's he going to hit the middle here? We had the high and the low. I'm like, where does he go from Beanie Queen? Yeah. A big hello to everyone in the chat. Papa Kraken has subscribed for 20 months. So the show's been going for at least 20
months is massive.
So thank you
That's
so
longer
much.
than a lot of relationships.
That's exactly right. So thank you, Papa. We've got Thomas. We've got Show You My Nads. Welcome, first time chatter. Ralphin.
Why can I never say that guy's name? I always read it as like some you know, like Street Fighter, like Shoryu Ken. I always read it as like Shomanadas, and I'm like, I can't not. It's some really weird quirk I've got. I cannot read that man's name.
Unreal Street Fighter movie showing you someone your nads.
Show you my nads.
That's a Florida man right there.
Eric, that's what he wants. Good bud. There you go.
CDSPen33, also first time chatter. We've got Sandy's in there.
Oh.
We've got a lot of the
Sandy
and the regulars. So thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you guys joining us live. If you're listening on the podcast, you can have the opportunity. We stream live on Twitch and YouTube when we get our act together and finally drag ourselves out of the green room. We do get there. So thank you so much.
Oh man, before we get going, apologies to Ralphan. Says he's met you in purpose, I can't speak, in person.
He's met you in purpose.
Yeah.
Who would ever meet Reese on purpose?
In purpose, dude.
I mean, honestly, you're meeting Reese, it's got to be a mistake.
Yeah, I found him. And that was the funniest thing.
I really apologize. We try not to let him out of the house, but he's met you in person.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Some say he hasn't recovered to this day. Like I said, I was like trying to put a business card with the show and where to listen to it into his mouth at the time. It was weird.
As you were saying, shh, let it happen, Ralphan. Kind of creepy, but he's done that to all of us.
That's how I met these guys too, believe it or not. We got a bit to catch up. We kind of had a bit of a 2-week hiatus, and some things have been released. So we thought obviously we'd bring you that news, the latest possible opportunity we could. We waited as long as we could to talk about the new stuff. But before we do, Ben, you had a bit of a holiday or where you earned your new Monkia of the Champ. Tell us a bit about
Adepticon. I understand.
Yeah, man.
Now.
Yeah, so went to Adepticon with shout out to Warpfire Minis, warpfireminis.com. Get all your Warhammer minis for way less, and for there you go, the for
do we something like
free shipping.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, Warpfire. Anyways, so I went there.
So sad.
Yeah, that was very sad. That's the great visual comedy on this audio medium.
On a podcast,
the Globo gym of the Warhammer scene, the Kill Team scene for sure.
And so I went with the Warpfire crew, and I ended up played the doubles, and I played doubles with friend of the show. I think we gave him the title of the Guestinental Champion.
He is the Guestinental Champ now and forever.
Yeah. So our good bud, friend of the show, Shane, we played doubles together, and we did a pretty cool thing where I played Plague Marines, he played Legionaries, and all of it was a lot of work I did at the last second, but I kit bashed up 2 brand new teams. He has a Legionaries team. I already have a Plague Marine team, but I kit bashed and converted a full new team for each in the style of another good friend of the show, Chris Bloor, who passed away a little while ago. And so our team name was Angels of Bloor instead of Angels of Death. The 2 times that he went to Worlds, he was Legionaries and then Plague Marines. So as an homage, and so it was painted in his very signature style. which you can check out on Blore Paints Minis on Instagram. If you ever just want to go back and look at his work, he was a true hobby champion and a stud.
Yeah, such striking and unique style to them. They're so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, it was like a weird experience to bash up the teams. Like, not to get too sentimental, but it was like, dealing with friend passing and being like sort of neck deep in like studying his conversions and painting in the way he paints. It was a good experience, and so we went and was like, you know what, we're gonna send it. We're gonna have a good time at Adepticon, these doubles, and if we can go 2-1 and maybe win some prize for like whatever, like that's cool. And so we go and we ended up smashing it, dude. We took first place. We went undefeated.
Nice.
And we won. The Adepticon thing is they have the best overall, so they factor in hobby scores. So we came first place, and then we won best overall, which is the highest tournament score with the highest painting score combined. Like, to combine that's best overall.
Nice.
And we won best overall, which is pretty awesome. And
that's the one you dream of, the best overall, I feel like.
That's the best,
people
dude.
vote for you being like the coolest as well, don't you? It's like,
because you could win the best general. Best general is
that's
highest. Yeah, so which is like the placing. So if you win first but don't win anything else, you get that. So I think second place won that. And then somebody else won best painted. Jonathan Reynolds is his name, and he had a really, really cool Wormblade painted up team. And then we won best overall because we first place, and our teams looked hella rad, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And so first place, we had a lot of fun. We played 3 good games, and we just smashed with Plagues and Legionaries. Our first, I won't spend too long talking about it, but
I've got a question.
Go for it.
Which I think people will want to know. Legionaries, how do they feel post nerf? Because I think they still look amazing.
Dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say they still look amazing, but they're still. How did you find them? Because you were Plague Marines, weren't you? Or you?
I was Plague.
But how do you know how Shane, sorry. Do you know how Shane said they were playing? I was just saying,
the other friend of the show, Sean.
Sean. Yeah, Sean the Sheep. Shane, I was digging him, dude. He was digging him.
Yeah.
Because they just still rip and tear and shred just as much as they always have. And so I noticed a lot of the time, though, it was just doing a lot of shooting with the new, like, ceaseless, stuff with the Zinch and all this kind of stuff.
I heard that there was lots of. Yeah, there's someone in my local chat. Someone me and Ben was talking about them being like they're like a shooting powerhouse team now with the Zinch stuff.
Yeah,
and I was just that's how you run them all shooting. I was like, man, okay.
It's like super reliable with the rending or whatever the new Zinch stuff is. And so how we would run it is I would take the open board and he would take the ITD board. We did that every time. And so the doubles.
I was going to say, what was the format like? Sorry, so it was always one ITD and one that was open. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's wild. And so you can cross over as well. You start on your boards, and then you can cross over. So, like, on the edges, you can, instead of opening the door, you can, like, walk around or just, like, walk in a room and chuck a grenade, lethal. Yeah, so, like, it's really, so you have to be careful. That, like,
I can't work out if you're joking. Is that legit rules?
On your opponent's game?
Yeah, you can cross over. Yeah, it's awesome.
Did you do that?
So good. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so like at one game, yeah, I lost a Marine early, and so Shane was like, "All right, I'm gonna send the Anointed over to your table, and like here comes a friend, like womp it over." So it's wild, man.
Sorry, I've got so many follow-up questions now. We're going to abandon what we were going to talk about. So are you basically side by side as you play this game?
Yeah.
Are you going turn for turn then?
Yeah, so like when it's our turn to activate, I do an activation, he does an activation at the same time.
That's amazing. I love this idea.
It's the best way to do it. It's the best way to do it. People should play more of it. Yeah, dude, I've never heard of freaking fun.
I thought from your explanation, it was just like 2 teams. It's like if it was like I'd play Russ and you'd play Russ's opponent kind of thing. Like you just happen to be standing next to each other and then you combine scores. I didn't realize it was fully like interactive with that. That makes it so much cooler.
We pick attack up. We pick attack up from like what you could game it out. Yes, like we did not game it out as all. Plagues and Legionaries have literally zero synergy together. There is absolutely no synergy between the two of them. But like you could pick a team like I have access to security and recon, and I have access to infiltration and seek and destroy or whatever, and we combine those and get to pick the best. Like so, you could game it out. But it's really fun. People should play more of it. So you could cross over. There was a point where like there was some guys in ITD. Our first matchup was Nemesis Claw and Legionaries. And so there was some guys on ITD. So like, well, I'm going to send my Grenadier over here and chuck some poison tokens over in the ITD Lethal 5. And so just like really cool zany stuff, dude. Like it was awesome. Yeah. I guess I never told you guys how it works.
Playing chess. I love it.
That's great. Yeah, that sounds awesome fun.
A bunch of times I'd be like in my activation, I'd end it, and then the guy across like on Shane's side would be like, okay, I have line of sight over here, so I'm gonna take this shot. Or like, oh my, like yes, like somebody just was like on guard, or not on guard, on counteract, was like looking through a door and could see me and shot me from like all the way across the map. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, go for it, man. Wouldn't. So like, got to be like pretty aware of what's going on. But it was sick, dude. So yeah, our first game was Legionaries and Nemesis Claw, and we beat them. It was a father and son combo. I actually met them a couple times, and so that was fun. What a dream! You know what I mean? The father and son rolling up to a team's tournament, playing together.
That's
and
cool.
And so
losing.
Yeah, so we. Yeah,
and we stomped them.
Being crushed. Yeah.
Take this family values.
They were arguing. At one point, the dad turned to the son and was like, "You're adopted. I hate you." And it was like, "Wow." So it's like, Jesus, we really ruined this family.
Gosh. Yeah. Anyways, Lethal 5. But yeah, that was a good time. And he even said it was like the round one, he was like, "Oh my, like 2 podcasters round 1. This is not how I wanted to start the day." And there are some good dudes. And our second match was Vetguard and Phobos, and so I was into the
like
Phobos
that as a team. That's a cool like the guard and Phobos is like a cool narrative. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so we ended up taking that one down. The blast plays, Shane was getting crazy blast plays with the Balefire on ITD. Like it was just disgusting. Like I've been playing Legionaries for 4 years, and like I've never gotten the blast plays that this man was getting. Like just it was insane. It was pretty cool. And so we ended up taking
it was mental champ. You know
I mean
he plays like he plays.
Plays like he plays. That's
at all times.
At all times, yeah, no mercy, sweep the leg, and so that one ended up we took that one down, and then we go into the finals, and our final game kind of zany that it was what we played, but I got super excited because it was Jason from Just Another Kill Team podcast and his buddy Pierce, and they were running Phobos, and they paired it up with Phobos again, and so it was double Phobos, which
vision.
Is a pretty like normally this is like there's a stipulation where you can't double up, and so but like in the packet there was no stipulation for no doubles, so they were Phobos and Phobos.
I've got a follow-up question then. So the follow-up question is, when you run a strat ploy, when one of you runs a strat ploy, it impacts every friendly Legionary operative. When they run a friendly Phobos operative, does it affect everyone, or does it only affect your team?
I don't remember.
This never came up. So
here's the thing: in that game, Shane and I had a couple of IPAs at that point, and we were having a real good time. So we're having a good time, and so however they managed their CP was between them and the good Lord, and so
them and the God Emperor of mankind.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just focusing on not dying because, dude. So I had Jason on my side, and I was thrilled to play Jason because he's I've never had a chance to play him, and Phobos is like one of his main teams, and so Phobos are just lethal, dude. Like my experience in that game was like he was like.
Obscured, right?
So we both did like the full send thing. Now imagine like this giant board and you're playing against 12 operatives that ignore obscuring. So just like just shoot like getting you from every possible angle, getting flanked.
Across
and so like
balls.
my little
was it Vulcus and Into the Dark, or was it one of the other terrain
I was on Vulcus. Yeah, it was Vulcus and ITD. And so my experience was like he's got a 7-inch move, I've got a 5-inch move, and so he's positioned to where like if I'm gonna get him, it means I have to like move dash and shoot him once, which doesn't work. And so what he would do is he would move, double tap me, and I was rolling I feel like I couldn't make saves to save my life. I was like, okay, all right, thank God, I survived on 2 wounds, awesome. And he was like, and I'll pay a CP to do extra D3 damage. So I struck you with a crit. I was like, oh God, and I die. It was like the worst. And so like I was just like, my job on our side of the board was like, die slowly. Just die slow. And Shane was like, Shane went on the murder train on ITD because legionaries are just cracked on ITD. And I was just like, die slow, don't get tabled. I ended that game with a single wound on the table, guys.
Yeah.
I had one guy crouched in a building with one singular wound. Like, please score, take rounds. Please score, take rounds. Like, whatever you do, please score. And so we ended up winning that game as well. That was by far the closest game. But yeah, it felt like the kill team, like the scores. I feel like this edition, the scores don't exactly represent the game state, and so even it may be a 6-7 point game, but like the board state was very close. And so I feel like that happens a lot. And but it was a great game. And so Shane and I took it down. It was a very fitting end for the Angels of Blore. Like, it was pretty cool, so rewarding to take it out. Like, we're doing this silly thing for a friend, and to win it all. It was the dream, dude. Like, it was the total dream.
That's
so it was great. Doubles were fun. And then I played.
Sounds great.
Yeah, unfortunately, the second day of playing in the GT, I had to drop the second day. But I almost made top cut. I ended up making, out of 90 some players, I made the second pod, so like the second group of 8. And I played Blaine's Exaction Squad, and this is the game I lost. So I have 4 games. I was undefeated going into the last round to Blaine and his Exaction, and I hadn't prepped the matchup enough because, like, who's prepping for Exaction? You know what I mean? And I
couldn't tell you much about them on the best day.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and I was Star Striders on ITD, beat them. Then it was the Aquilons on ITD. Yeah, I'm still as Plagues. And then Kroot with Plagues. My favorite moment of the tournament is into the Kroot opponent going into the last round. It was like we rolled initiative. Like he ended turn 3 with like 4 Kroot on 1 wound, all poison. And I was like, that's the best feeling in the world. Like, okay, let's roll initiative. Does like, yoink, 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 yoink. Anyways, that was pretty funny. And then I go into Blaine from Six-Sided Legion. Oh, why am I blanking on that? But they do podcast, or they do YouTube videos and stuff like that sometimes.
Oh, is that Six-Sided Paradise?
No, that's the Florida guys. The Florida guys are Six-Sided.
I was like, I thought you'd know.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm sort of bungling that name a little bit. Anyways, he got me, dude. It was like, I think it was a 3-point game, and I was on the bad side of a weird board, and I should have picked a different tac op, I think, maybe. And then I did the deployment stuffed me up. I made some mistakes, ended up doing more shuffling than I needed to, and I over-respected some of his threats, I think, as well. And just didn't play the best game there, and he got me. But Plagues are sick, dude. So I made second pod, but then I had to drop, unfortunately. But it was a good time. So like, good showings all around with me and the Plague Marines. I went in not loving Plague Marines, and I came out like loving Plague Marines. Like, they are awesome. I think I'm going to stick with them for a little while.
You did with them. That's outstanding.
Yeah, it felt good, and like I was pretty frustrated with them going in because they're like, I'm used to Legionaries, I'm used to Nemesis Claw, and they're like, it's like a Ferrari, dude. Like, you just let it, like, you got it. Like, if you don't zip out and start killing, like, it's not going to go well for you. But Plagues they want to hunker down, and they want to move and shoot you twice, and like, they just kind of want to be where they want to be. And like, I ended up playing Storm Objectives most of the time.
That's a good one. I quite like that one. Yeah.
Dude, it's so good. Where you just like reorient the board and like, okay, we're going to pivot, and I'm going to own this corner of the board now. And like, here's 4 Plague Marines. You can't kill all of them, and then between that and take ground. But yeah, great times. Plagues are fun. Maybe we'll do another Plague video at some point if you guys are keen, just because I'm so hot on them right now.
Well, you've now got the real hands-on experience now. I'm sure you've probably walked away going like, oh, did you guys know they can do this? Did you know this is the thing to lean into? So yeah, I reckon that'd be
they're
awesome.
Sick, dude. Yeah, they're very different, but they're so sick. They just grind it out. I was telling Shane's after we were playing. Shane's, I think, playing some Plagues as well. He sort of caught the bug. I infected him, and we were
across the board.
like, he like the way I've been describing Plagues is like, There's no flash. Like there is no like crazy exciting. Like they're not gonna jump out and blow your mind. But it's like just getting a noogie for 2 hours. Like here's just a slow and consistent noogie. Like I'm just gonna grind you down. And I'm gonna do 6 damage. You're gonna die in your own activation. And I'm gonna poison everybody. And it's just like, oh, I took it by a couple points. Like it's just a slow noogie. And
they see that's the most thematic explanation of how they should play though as well. It's like, what should the Plague Marines be like? Just this slow, painful death for your opponent, creeping death. Yeah, there you go, Russ. That's it.
Yeah,
like, that sounds like whatever.
So
the
thematic.
Rules writers have nailed that theme.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so very fun, very fun.
Nice.
So that was my weekend, like 2 weekends ago. It was a good time. It was a great time.
Yeah. So awesome. you caught the bug for Plague Marines and passed on to Shane. And then speaking of bugs,
Sam!
Holy smokes!
Breaking news! Breaking news!
Yeah, you might not realize, folks listening, but there's been some new teams announced.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think we're the first people to cover it.
It's breaking
off the press.
Yeah. This is hot goss.
I just jumped on Warcom this morning actually and wrote an article about it as well. So we'll bring that up on the screen. I wrote this article as well, obviously.
Sweet,
of course. Yeah. So pretty cool stuff, guys. We got 2 new teams coming. Freaking Tyranids are coming to Kill Team. We thought we'd never see the day, and here it is. And it's I think a team that nobody expected it to. Like.
Ravages.
I never expected it to be these guys. An elite team, pretty crazy. And then you got the Servitors, dude, which is buck wild. So we'll get into it. I mean, I'm sure Reese, you wanna guide us through this river, but man, I'm pretty excited for this box.
Yeah. I mean, I think Russ, as our local Tyranid sympathizer, what did you think?
Nid simp.
Nid simp. Am I the Nid simp? I feel like I've wanted the Tyranids for so long.
Yes.
Maybe I am the Nid simp.
Yeah. I want to hear your thoughts. You've seen them, Russ. You've looked at them. I'm sure you've read the article that I wrote. How do you feel? How are your first thoughts?
Please. I don't need to read the article to know what this team is. It's Nids.
Baby.
And I'll be playing them, maining them hard. It's a bunch of Nids with weird heads. That's what it is. True. So I don't know a lot, but I think what I understand is it's the smallest team. It's the only 5-man team. So we've got 5 operatives, and obviously we've got 6 operatives. So
yes.
I'm hoping we're going to have some real interesting reason to take the warrior over whatever, like some utility, and like it'd be cool if the warriors were like funky extra stuff. But I think there's going to be some auto takes in the team. But first impressions, damn yes, I am happy to get. I think people have, because it's such a versatile army. I think people have been like, you could do uber elites. They were like, because I mean, in the first kill team, you could have 4 lictors. That was your team. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and then you could go hordes, and you could go. I'm going for 16 termagants. Like, you could go nuts on it. And I really like that we have. And I don't even think that this necessarily has to be the end of Nids. Like, it's such a versatile team. This could just be like, hey, these are your elite Nids. You could have another team. I think, honestly, Nids, this is it.
Have it your way.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
A precursor team. These are the scout organisms that are,
It's like Subway. You go in and you're like, I want this. I would like a hearty Italian because I'm not a fucking sadist. Obviously, it's hearty Italian. It's the best bread anyway. But you can do what you want. And I think Ravages...
Hearty Italian is your Subway order?
You know, I've not been for a long time. It used to be a meatball marinara with a hearty Italian. Oh,
there you go. You gotta go meatball. You gotta go meatball.
It's the meatball marinara and the hearty Italians that get, because it's a good bread.
Or tuna.
The tuna melts.
Controversial.
Do you never have the Philly? Do you not have the Philly steak?
I'm not a Philly man.
Not in America, no.
A real Philly cheesesteak, yes, but not a Subway Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, I think you've got to stick basic. I think, honestly, they would do as much as much business as they currently do if they had two options, one being meatball marinara and then something else for vegetarian people. I think that's all you need, really, in Subway. A veggie option and hearty Italian meatball marinara. Because anyway, we quibble.
This
We're
is
not
the
here to
guitar
fix.
talk all over again. All right, we're here to talk.
We're not here to
We're
fix
here to talk
Subway
Tyranids.
today. That's next week. Next week we can fix Subway, but today
we can do it.
We're looking at the Nids. It's a cool team. It's a real cool team.
Midway.
I like how the leader kind of looks like he's going, "Hey guys, relax."
And he's
I'll
got
say
the
this.
crest.
Like,
the
Yeah, he's like,
here's my only negative. That stupid mohawk crest head is the dumbest looking thing I've ever seen in my life.
You won't have to use it.
Do you know that head is getting swapped out for something? First thing I do.
It's crazy, but you know what I would have liked instead? Instead of, and it's just because it's a weird mohawk, I would have preferred neck frills.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Neck lizard
Better,
or
but
the,
like subtle.
the Dilophosaurus
Like a
from
flesh
Jurassic
hound,
Park.
Yeah, the Dilophosaurus, the spitter, like a little frill that just goes.
The flesh hound frills, yeah.
Yes.
Exactly, the flesh hound thrills.
That might
I
be
would have
your
preferred
head
that.
swap there, Ben. That could be it. Yeah, just a little
Because
flesh hound.
the profile it gives this model is not particularly apposite. I get it. It doesn't look. I prefer pretty much
like a
all
good
the other
strong
heads.
helmet. Like you know how they have like the iconic Nid helmet that they have. That's what
You know what I
prefer.
like.
Yeah.
I like, and why not just make this what I like? But I like the Hive Guard heads, the ones that are like no eyes, and you just go kunk.
Ooh,
Oh
They're
yeah,
cool.
That's my favorite, dude.
I
That's
think
my
those are
favorite.
the ones you're going to be doing anyway. They're cool.
So I got a question.
Go for it.
I have a question.
You're not necessarily asking me, but
No, this is for the resident Nid simp. It's for everybody. It's even for the chat. But most primarily you, Russ. What is if you were gonna convert this team and use other Nid bugs for this? What would you do? Because I feel like this is only 5 models to convert. What would you use? Or
if I was using
what would you
other
sub
Nid
in?
models, I'm not gonna lie. I do have a near enough a full. It's not near enough a full metal 2nd edition Nid army, and I would very much like the idea of subbing in some of those old school metal warriors.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But
Would they be similar size? I'm assuming.
Exactly the same size. The warriors, I'm guessing, are going to be exactly the same size as these guys.
Yeah, how big are they going to be bigger though? You think they're going to be 40s? They're going to be 50s?
I think they're going to be 40s, aren't they? The Ravagers are traditionally the same
Patriarch
size.
base size? Because I reckon it'll be one.
Patriarch is a 50.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be smaller than the
50,
Patriarch.
yeah.
I reckon
It'd be smaller than.
It'll be on 40s.
I think it's going to be the
I
same
reckon
as the
40s.
Warriors, which is 40s. The same as like an Ogren. Because anything bigger than that, it starts becoming difficult maneuvering around the board.
Pretty cumbersome.
Sam,
Yeah, I
had a
don't know
good
what you would
suggestion.
choose.
What about xenomorphs, like alien xenomorphs? He was saying you get some from off Etsy.
Ooh,
I mean, these things. A
that'd be good.
xenomorph would be the size of a Hormigund. These things
That's
are.
true.
These things would be way too big. You know what these would be? These would be the Ripley in the loading suit.
The power loader.
This would be like five Ripleys in the loaders being like, "Get away from her, you bitch." That's what I would, and I would have. Do you know what I used to do? I think I used to have models, and I used to have like speech bubbles that I would stick to a model, so it would be saying something. Like it was so bad.
Man.
It was so bad. I must have been like 10. But I used to glue these speech bubbles on with like some sort of like a Vast G matey. I don't know what it was.
Oh,
Anyway.
I love it. The
But yeah,
joys.
cool team. Very cool
So-
team. It looks like you've got like the
Zotes
digger.
also I feel like would be perfect. Like when you talk about the Zote
I
team,
love a Zote.
this is
Love a
probably
Zote.
as close as you're ever going to get to a Zote team. But maybe I have some thoughts at the end of this, but like probably the closest you're ever going to get. But maybe not because I have some thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so there's 5, obviously, in the box, there's 5 you can play on the board, but there's 6 models. So there's Prime, the Fell at Talon, who looks like he's got some poison talons.
He's got toxin sacks.
Some little
He's
toxin
toxin
sacks.
sacks in his guns.
You've got the Tremor Scythe, who also
The
has
digger.
funky headgear, the Digger Boy. The
Less
Wrecker.
bad though.
Yeah.
He's going to be a melee powerhouse. He's going to be hitting on 4s, hitting less but hitting harder.
Yep. And then the Venom Spitter before just a regular warrior.
I wonder what this one does.
The Venom Spitter, I actually like the look of this. I reckon that's menacing with the big, like bloated back.
Me too.
Sack and
it's
the
cool.
hook. And I reckon out of all of them, to me, that's the most menacing kind of look.
I wonder if we get a new rule instead of like a torrent or like a blast. I wonder if this gets like a similar poison or like some sort of weird hallucinogenic thing. Although it is venom, so it'll probably be like corrosive.
Would be unreal, like make you shoot your own teammates or take control of an opponent's model.
Man.
That'd be cool. So I don't think so. I think you're right. I think it more looks like it will melt things.
Yeah, it'll melt things.
I
think it's because because they've got like melty things will probably be it. Yeah, and then your normal warrior. I like the normal warrior.
Yeah,
looks decent. I mean, it's a new model altogether, but it's nice. A good replacement for the original kit, which is quite an old kit now.
And and if you watched did you guys actually get to watch the release video when they were talking about it? Did you guys see?
Yeah,
Russ, you're already laughing. That's great.
I did not watch anything.
It was interesting to hear the rules sneak peeks they talked about, like with some of the way.
What were the rules? Hit me. Hit me with the rules. Hit me one time.
It was now many weeks ago, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have like a burrowing or digging.
Oh yeah.
So
I've heard this as well.
I'm assuming
the Terrasite.
Yeah, and a bit like, I guess I'm assuming it'll work maybe similar to the Aquilon kind of thing, just trying to
or the mandrakes.
Like moving tokens, or
some
is it going to be like
equivalent.
Mandrakes with teleport? What do you reckon they'll? I don't think they
more like the Aquilons, I guess.
Digging
because the Aquilon feels like the new way because you'll place something and then they'll
because if you could just come up like anywhere you wanted, that feels crazy.
I think it's going to have to be you dig and then you've got movement and then you can either
like
decide
location
to come
or
up.
Something.
So you can move and then you put a token down and so that they know where you are underground.
Could give you like pseudo
but you can keep moving. Yeah, but you can keep moving it kind of like the Aquilon. So you can be like, well, it cost me an action point to come up. I'm not going to come up yet. I'm going to move. That kind of stuff would be interesting. But I'm sure it'll be funky.
How many wounds do you reckon? Because 5 models.
Lots.
18.
So minimum. I'm gonna call it. I say we're looking at 20 plus.
20
yeah, that's
plus?
fair.
Yeah,
I'm thinking 20. I see a lot of people online saying 16. And
you get teams with 80
is not enough.
80 wounds. Like Goremongers, for example, has 81 wounds in their entire team. So it's not unrealistic.
Before they reduce damage and heal back up, which is crazy.
Yeah. So this would be if they were all 20 wounds, that's 100 wounds. So I think, decent. I think maybe Sandy said 20 for the prime. I think 20 for the prime, 19 for the others. So you're getting
19,
close
20?
to that 100 mark.
With a 4-up save, we're thinking.
Ooh, I think they'll be.
Well, you reckon they
should
go 3?
They should be a 4-up save. Look at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do Warriors have?
I'm more saying they
would
go.
What do Warriors have?
5s, aren't they?
5s. Maybe, probably 4s or 5s. Oh man, if we're thinking 20 wounds on 4s, that's a
25
lot. That might be
wounds.
tough to crack.
Well, the other thing I'm thinking is maybe it is on 5s, but obviously because I reckon they're going to have a lot of stealth-esque, obviously being able to be underground. Like, maybe their save won't need to be as great because I think they're going to have other ways to not get shot, or to avoid.
Do you think they can take
the best save is don't get shot at all?
Yeah, that's it.
Do you think Do you think they'll be able to take cover behind light?
Ooh.
Probably not, dude.
I was going to say, I mean, Vulca's not a big issue, but they kind of look too big to take cover behind light based on what
think
we've
about
seen.
this. How's this team going to work on Into the Dark?
Well, they're not going to fit under the roof. Can you tunnel through the? They'll be in the roof.
I guess they just let you burst up.
Aquilons,
Aquilons can still do that thing into the dark.
I wonder if they because Aquilons can do they can go on the other side of the walls from the token. Yeah. I wonder if they're gonna have something like that. And what do we think the APL situation is going to be on these guys?
They have to be 3.
Well,
they absolutely have to be 3. Maybe even 4 for the prime.
Would you say?
Oh my god!
Or a way to get to 4 easily.
I think after. Yeah, I kind of think at the point you've got 4, unless you've got built-in fight twice, it's sort of, you don't need it. Like
it's not
like if
worth
you've got
anything,
4 APL as a Space Marine, that's cool because you can move, dash, shoot, or move like charge, fight, shoot. But like these guys, I think they're going to be 3 because they're not going to have much shooting. So they're not going to have a lot of stuff they can do with it unless they've got funky additional abilities like a shriek. Because all of these guys look like they could shout some business at you, and you'd be like, "Oh, that's not nice." You know what I mean? Like stun shouting.
Lap in the chat made a good suggestion: 3 APL, but with 3 actions.
Yeah,
so therefore,
that doesn't sound too bad. Yeah,
the 4 APL nearly seems a bit. Very rarely
like a free dash.
A lot of time need it. But move, dash, shoot, a charge, fight, shoot, whatever. Like those things, and then still being able to boop an objective or whatever would be pretty interesting. With 5 models, you're going to need that stuff. Like 5 models, I get they're all powerful, but it's you lose
5
one
activations.
That's
5. I think you know what I think with the previous teams we've seen, we might be looking at a very fast team with the whole what do you call it? They used to have lurk or stalk where they could move in the pre-game and then move again. I'd love to see something like that. So because you're going to need to be really, with only 5 operatives, you are going to need to be good at positioning them, unless they are just absolute tanks. Like you like I don't think so. I think there'll be like a 5-up save with 20 plus wounds. So I think Space Marines will just, I mean, that's dangerous for you to be shot twice. So you're going to have to be like, I think they're going to have to be a team that, unless you're charging the best melee operative your opponent has, you pretty much are guaranteed. I can't imagine these guys are less than 5 attacks melee, and they're not going to be less than 4 or 5.
Attacks,
5 attacks hitting on 3s, 4, 5 is their warrior, and then everything else is going to be like that big dude's going to be like
those claws look like maybe they
something
rend or
like
something.
that. I mean, they should be ceaseless baked in because they've got so many attacks. But I think that'll only be a strap
so many claws.
Yeah, it'll probably be like scything talons, like Gene Sealers used to be relentless. But I think that'll be strap ploy stuff to be if you charge relentless, because you can't just be team wide relentless in combat. That'd be absolutely nuts. But like they could be like, if you've charged relentless, that wouldn't be out the realms because some teams have that similar. Plus, if you only have 5 operatives, man alive, your opponent's going to be able to be like, well, we'll see. Presumably be able to like pull back and be like, well, they won't charge. Maybe you get 1 charge this turn because I'm going to be backline shooting you. But man, I love it. Like, this should be up there as some of the most powerful operatives in the game.
Most deadly.
Like
you would have to be with only 5 operatives.
With 5 operatives, you should be able to tank 2 Marines, maybe 1.5 Marines.
Speaking of powerful, though, it was interesting that they did reveal in the box you're also getting some of the little dudes, like the Hormigant Gaunt.
Oh, for the like narrative players.
For narrative
side. And I thought that was very interesting. Like, I it's nearly like, thank you, but did we need that? Like, I guess for a lot of people, are they going to be
I felt it was weird.
Yeah, like
I thought it was kind of weird. Like,
no, it's like, here's free models, great. Like, but I don't think any Tyranid player, if they were getting this, was like, geez, man, I'd probably like some more of the little bugs, because I feel like if you're a Tyranid player or Gene Stealer, you've probably got a lot of some anyway lying around. So I thought
this looks like it's going to be a big box as well, because it comes with.
Was there any terrain?
Was there
any terrain in this one?
Well,
Tyranid
if that's
unique.
another thing. Yeah, it's whether or not that's included, but it seemed to imply that it was. I didn't really read it.
I had it that terrain comes in it, and obviously it's just like the rest of the terrain we've been seeing.
The Tyranid terrain.
The
Tyranid terrain.
So it's just like the other upgrade kits, if you will. It's not heaps. It looks like it's like 5 or 4, I guess, specific pieces that and again, narrative play, they represent some bits and pieces, like this is a birthing sac, and this is a synapses node, and all that. Birthing sac. Let's quickly, before we run out of time, let's jump across. Now we've said birthing sac, and talk robot men.
That's the buzzword. Buzzword hit.
How
want
crazy is this?
Confetti to fall down.
How crazy is it that a team of servitors somehow has more personality than Hunter Clade ever did, dude? How is that possible?
Yeah, you know what? I quite like I've been looking at the models. You know what? Looking at the 2 dudes here, I feel like I've seen these a million times before. I know there's a dude with a big circle thing on his back, but he kind of looks a mixture between those sky dwarves and Admech. So, and the rest of it looks kind of similar, but the actual servitors, I actually really like the look of the servitors.
Yes.
They look awesome, dude. They look great.
Yeah.
What we were talking in the green room, and the question I had for you guys about this is this the most like didn't see this happening team for like obviously we've been hypothesizing about Tyranids, we were obviously talking Catachans, Grey Knights, all these other bits and pieces. Did anyone have this on their radar that were like, you know what we need?
No.
A team of servitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's bad, but I was just like, okay, well, sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Servitors are like one of my favorite parts of 40K. And, like,
the
it's
lore,
so
yeah.
grim dark. It's like it's just the grimmest, darkest thing in the world. Like to lose your agency, like it's basically like you take a soul from a person without doing anything supernatural. Yeah. Like it's just so grim dark.
A lobotomized servant.
Yeah.
It's just like you're a criminal, you're now lobotomized, and you will be doing X forever.
And here's a gun. Wow. Or you can just turn this knob on this machine. I did it again. Sorry.
Yeah, you're just like a You're the button presser.
I see a bunch of people upset online that a techno archaeologist is like a from the existing model. That it doesn't bother me at all. Like I think people who whine like that, like change your diapers. It's fine. It is like guess what? It's a cool model, and I actually like the idea of using existing models in Kill Team because a lot of the existing models that 40K has are cool. Like I wish there were some models that would be brought into Kill Team, but they don't. Like so I think it's fine.
It's very.
I think the team looks cool.
Like from a painting standpoint, it's a very busy model. Like I do kind of part of me misses the days. Like the old, because you know when the old world got released, part of me was just like, man alive, that was a paint, a dry brush, and a wash, and those models were meant to be hit with those three techniques and look great. And it was just like, you know what, chainmail gets hit with a wash and a dry brush, and you look like some of these models are. But the thing is, if you like painting a detailed model, it's real busy, and that's my only gripe with Admech is there's a lot of non-optional busyness in the models, which is why I'm quite glad.
Welcome to Admech.
You're welcome to Admech. Is this your first time? It's that meme, isn't it? Your first time? It's one of those where I'm like, it's the same with. Although I like, you know, when you build out like some of the old Eldar for the first time, and you've got like legs you strap together, and they look like they're riding a horse, and then the arms, and you've got to position the arms, but like. They're easy to paint because it's like a bodysuit. You just like it's a dude wearing a cat suit with like a cone head. It's actually really easy to paint. I actually quite like the servitors. I like it's a suit, bits of armor, and some, it won't be hard to paint up a team. Whereas you're so used to an Admech team being like, okay, here's the coat, here's the lenses. They've all got a million things on them.
You've glued it together and gone, why did I do that before I painted the cape or the cloak? And then you're trying to jam your brush in between up the back of the You're
gonna snap about a million things on these models. And the thing is, you still will with the servitor team. Like there's already the auto proxy servitor that is like those models shouldn't be made. But like that is a model that will break as soon as it is attempted to cut out of the sprue. It's gonna break, I think. 100%. But whatever.
Just a quick shout out to Maxter666 in the chat. Subscribe for 2 months as well. So thank you so much for the sub.
The Twitch viewer of the beast.
Yes, exactly. Now, it's very cool looking at obviously this team, and it actually reminds me of looking at them as well. Did you guys ever get like I always had a bit of played like the Alien versus Predator games and stuff like back in the day, and they always had like the combat servitors in like who were like the synthetic humans, but they were like the combat
synths.
That's the synths. That's the vibe I get looking at these traditional dudes, like the little talking in their little binary code and all that. I think that they're very thematically. They're way cooler than if you had explained it to me and said, "Oh, it's Admech servitors," I would have been like, "Oh, okay." Looking at the models, I'm actually like, "This is pretty cool." And being tasked around by the overseer, the underseer, I should say, and the techno archaeologist, it's cool. I think this team might have some pretty cool rules in terms of how that all works. Like terrible alone, but great when they're synergizing and working together. I reckon there'll be lots of auras and bubbles in effect here as well.
Yeah. And it's good because obviously we're losing
sweet.
Hunter Clade, aren't we? So
yes,
good riddance, dude. Good riddance. In my opinion, good riddance. Like that team, just not very interesting to me. Like I guess maybe the AdMech people liked it, but just not a lot of. Maybe it's the AdMech issue. Like there's just not a lot of soul. But this team to me feels like quirky and weird, and like feels like there's a lot of personality here to me for some reason. I never felt that with Hunter Clade.
I feel like between this team, what we just had with the Sanctifiers, what we had with the Inquisition team, weirdly, it feels like Games Workshop is really injecting a whole bunch more of like the grimdark kind of feel of models of like the Imperium, like because it's quite easy to be like, it's another human or it's another Imperium team, but I'm like, at least these models have a lot of character and they feel a lot more like the artwork. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you see a model come out and you're like, oh, it's a bit too clean. Like even these servitors, you'll be able to paint them so grimdark and rusty and run down and depressing. And that's cool because that's, to me, the AdMech's weird and crazy and they're not just like, they're slightly robot dudes. It's dark, religious robot, dudes. Like it's
hell.
There's a lot more to it. Yeah, that's it. It's dark. It's like these were, as you guys said before, these were people, and now they're lobotomized servants. It's crazy. So I think this is another great step in the right direction of keeping that nice aesthetic within it, because sometimes it can feel, some of them there's been missteps in the past, and I feel like maybe some of the Age of Sigmar design teams jumped across because they seem to get it,
Yeah, and before we move on to like some Legions of Russ, whatever.
Most important.
My thoughts on this. My thoughts on this is I feel like the keys to the kingdom have just been thrown to the peasants. In as far as like, I think it's just going to be Crazy Town from here on out. Like, who saw 5 Tyranid monsters? Sorry, sound like one of my kids got hurt back there. They'll be fine. They're tough. They'll make
they'll learn to be tough.
They'll live. They'll live.
Yeah.
But it seems like are we just gonna get zany out of left field teams from now on? Because I'm cool with that, dude. Like, if you just want to keep giving us weird stuff, like, bring it on. Like, Sanctifiers and frickin' Bloodmongers, Goremongers, like, didn't see those teams coming. Yeah. Raveners and Servitors, didn't see that one coming, dude. Yeah. But, like, I'm here for it. Bring it on. I think it's cool
we're being surprised. It's good. Like, we're not like, it's like what we expect. Yeah. It's another Space Marine team. It's another this. We're like, okay.
It's not Blades of Cain.
Yeah.
And instead of like, like everybody's talking about Grey Knights and stuff like that, like the mainline factions. Like, I think it is cool that Kill Team is a space that like you can explore these sort of weird niche sides of factions. And then also like everything's in a revolving door in Kill Team. Like if you don't like Servitors, in a couple of years there'll be a new team. So like it is a revolving door. Yeah, just wait 4 years, you idiot. Wait 4 years. What's wrong with you? But like, I just think it's a cool thing to me. Like, I don't see it as a negative. I view it as a positive, a big positive.
Yeah, definitely.
Oops, I just totally brought up the wrong screen. Apologies. So, well, let's wrap on the old new news that we just did. And we're speaking of bringing back old new news. We're going to go to
speaking of old news, Russ, he's with us.
Oh,
the old hat himself.
Russ, I just need you to say one thing. I need you to ask me to do something.
I think we need to play it up inside itself.
Good luck to us. We'll only say this once. It's finally time for Legions of Russ.
I tell you what, it's so good for me to hear that song.
We never hear
that song. I was like, but unfortunately,
I don't think I've heard that song for like
I haven't heard it in literally years.
I think the last time Ben heard it is when he wrote it.
When I recorded it.
Yeah.
I still get emotional about it. So thanks for the song you wrote for me.
Thanks for the memories.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for the memories. Yeah, we don't get to hear it. You get to hear it. Okay, so
It's been
Welcome,
so
sorry.
long.
It's been a while, so we've had some ready in the past, but we've been.
Reese, you ready to lose again, dog?
It's been so
You're
long.
eating
I'm
a
ready,
crab
to,
sandwich
I'm
here,
ready to
dude.
hurt again. I'm ready to hurt
Fight
again.
and talk. So,
All I
welcome.
know is the last time I effing aced it. So
you're on you're
ready
on
to do it
hot
again.
streak.
Yeah.
No one is more surprised than me.
Welcome to Legions of Russ. It's that time again where we test the bonds of madness we as a community share. In this game show of sorts, I will read out a clue, riddle, cryptic mind puzzle dredged forth, frothing and naked from the septic tank that is my brain for you to guess upon. It could be a guard regiment, space marines, anything really, but regardless, it's likely to be obscure or completely made up, and who knows, it could be your favorite. In this game, contestants, and if you can hear me, that means you shout out your guesses or put it in the chat or say your name in the chat. You don't need to, but Ben, Reese will have to say their name to buzz in and then try and guess. But there are victory conditions, which we will talk about now. We have the partial guess, the all-important partial guess, known to Ben as the Uzi first strike. So if you can partially guess the correct answer, you get 1 victory point. Sounds good, gets better. If you can do this before clues, you get 2 victory points for that partial guess. Oh, you sounding pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Because you've done the lion's share of the
partial
work.
guess. Yeah. If you get the partial guess before the clues, you win. That's just how it goes.
But
that's the lion's share of the game. And then the completion guess, but hey, you do get some points for the completion. If you make the completion guess, you do score a victory point. And there's always 2, so there's always chance for redemption. But as a bonus, if you can do a guestinental Shane Champ snipe and you get the full thing before any clues are given, you get 4 victory points for your troubles. Now, does that sound good? It does. I answered the question. Ben, if that made sense to you, I've said your name for no reason. If that made sense to you, your names are probably not Reese or Ben. Ben, how are you feeling today, buddy?
I'm feeling great, dude. I'm feeling lock, stock, and ready to rock over here. So let's do it.
I was
HBK. How's
distracted.
it going, buddy?
I was distracted.
It's not a good start.
Do you know why? Because in the chat it popped up and it was like, it warns you when someone's like using a questionable thing. And Sandy's gone early and put their guess in already, and they did celestial loins, which is a great callback.
Ooh,
and so I had to accept that we're
Tio,
okay.
Reese has the chat open. Reese has the chat open.
So far, hang on. It's not game on. Let me finish my story, please. This is important. Thank you. Celestial loins, but now we have permitted in the chat, casual wargamers, now it says on my screen, has added permitted term loins. So there you go, everyone.
You know, it's such a good word. I don't know why we weren't getting more messages about loins. Burning loins,
because it was blocked.
Lusting loins, anything.
Feel free to use and abuse our loins, guys.
The loins
so go for it.
Hey guys, variety.
Listeners,
I would quite like a poem.
Our loins are your loins.
2 loins, 2 loins. Do with as you wish. Good your loins. Exactly.
Chat is down now. Chat is gone.
Good.
But I just had to share the loin story.
I will have the loins open, the chat open. So I will have both my loins and the chat open. So I will be able to see what you guys say. But these 2 chumps,
you'll be able to see our loins. We know.
I can see. We remember that photo shoot that we don't talk about anymore. But you guys will have closed the chat, and we're going to go into Legions of Russ. I do have 2, so there's a redemption story. Chat, as always.
Good. All right.
You can guess away, and if time has taught us anything, is that you will always win. But there's more of you. But let's go. And Ben always accuses you of cheating. So
of cheating? Yeah, I think you have Google open. Yeah. I think these guys straight up have Google open.
To be accused.
He's on his soapbox again, talking to you. Just anyway, let's go on for this. So we've got 1. I'm not going to tell you. I normally do tell you if it's like Imperium or.
Yeah.
Okay. Chaos.
Whoa.
But it could be any levels of chaos. I'm not going to say where. So
okay, chaos. We know.
Are you guys ready?
Far
ready.
away.
Let's go. Hefting a car aloft in a close local network network. I will read it once more time slower for
That's
Ben.
it.
Hefting a car aloft in a close local network.
Ooh.
That is your clue.
Reese.
Oh,
Partial. Echo. Or echoes.
Echoes. Okay, we'll give you
Echoes.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
2 victory points for the
If you,
echoes.
I was going to say, going forward, if you don't give the man the S on the end of that, you're a criminal. You're a war criminal.
You know what? There is always a note. As it's Legions of Russ, I hold the right to score as I will.
Be a tyrant.
I didn't. Yeah, I to be a despot. I didn't want to give Echo. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted the
so we could
Echoes.
tell. It was obvious. You weren't hiding it.
I needed you to get there.
I was gonna come in and snipe it. If you didn't, I was absolutely gonna come in and snipe it.
I wanted Reese to get there. I just didn't want to help him in any way. I just kind of you know what I mean? Like I felt like he needed, So yeah, Echoes indeed. That is the part that goes network.
Reese.
Network.
Reese, is it Jacqueline Echoes?
Oh, 4 victory points for Reese.
Holy smokes, the full snipe.
Hefting a car aloft is Jack. A close local network is a LAN, and then network is Echoes. You actually smoked the chat, Reese.
Oh my gosh,
I had written down, I had hoist LAN, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, what's another
hoist
word
LAN
for lifting
Echoes.
a car? And I was like, Jack.
Oh
Jack
my
LAN.
gosh, dude.
So I will give you. I think Ben might be a fan of these guys, but only based on one thing. So the Jacqueline Echoes are a Crimson Slaughter warband.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know why, but I kind of get the impression that Ben likes the Crimson Slaughter.
I
feel like you would be a Crimson Slaughter kind of guy. I know they're not Corsairs, but like.
But they're close.
Yeah,
I like
that's what I mean.
I like
They're
all the
very
chaos
close.
stuff. Yeah, they're close.
There's not a lot known about these dudes, the Jacqueline Echoes.
Of course.
There's a known battle, the War of the Beasts, that they were part of. I've got no War of the Beasts.
How is Jacqueline spelled?
JACKALAN. It's basically Jack Allen. I was gonna make the clue about Jack Allen, but yeah, I didn't end up doing it. I was gonna be like hoist a car up, Partridge does, and then does Reese. But then I was like, you might not get that.
From half court shot over here,
that
insane.
If
that's
you shoot
crazy business,
shots,
Reese.
You'll hit one.
That is crazy business. Oh my gosh.
And that's what we're going to play it for today.
So we're going to play it up inside itself very quickly and give Ben a chance and the chat a chance for redemption, because Reese is making you look like chumps. So let's play it up inside itself one more time.
Good luck to us.
Chumping our loins.
We'll only say this once. It's finally time for Legions of Russ.
Good luck to us.
You were so close.
This once.
Oh, jeez.
Are we back already?
Yeah, we're back. That
okay.
The song doesn't go for 10. This version doesn't. We swapped out the 10-minute version.
We're so delayed. I think wasn't your Reese's rules like 8 minutes? Like no joke, wasn't it like an 8 minutes? I swear it was long.
It's an awkward amount of time.
Because I'll play it. You be careful. I will play it.
I feel like I remember listening it to go and this is cool, and I was like,
it's like 3 verses to it.
Yeah. I thought the guitar solo was maybe a bit gratuitous, but then I also felt it added a bit. So
the only jingle with a bridge and 2 verses, but I love it. Anyway, we're into the second Legions of Russ. We're on 4 victory points for Reese.
Insane.
Which is kind of why we're slating him a little bit.
We would have me and the chat. You know what? I am joining forces with the chat. You never cheated. You will never cheat. I'm on your side. We're joining forces against the darkness that is Reese.
I think I'm going to allow it. I think I'm going to say Ben and chat can now double team against Reese.
Yeah, we'll work together.
Yeah, so,
Reese versus the people.
It's
it's now Reese versus
I've
the
dreamed
people.
of, okay, if I'm being honest.
Okay, so it's time, everyone. It's time to raw dog Reese. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
First, please.
Oh yeah. So it's also
Imperial
chaos.
or chaos?
It's
Oh,
also
double chaos.
I know.
Dude.
Which I thought honestly would favor you, if anything. I thought
still might.
I feel like
I think
Reese,
I'm locked in on
Reese
the
has
Imperial
Imperium,
keywords.
and I think
I feel like I'm locked in on having
maybe.
Imperium keywords, but yeah,
how that
Reese is a
tracks.
monster tonight.
Let's go. Okay. So here we go. Looking at Potter's ginger pal, I say hello informally, then do something drastic, but then I regain my senses and remove the stick, but just one. I will say it again slowly, but then. Looking at Potter's ginger
Won't help me.
pal, I say hello informally, and then do something drastic, but then I regain my senses and remove the stick, but just one. So we've got a couple of
Give that
partial
to me
guesses.
slowly one more time, because this is insane.
I'm not gonna give Sandy. I can't give you a partial for that. It's too partial.
Add an S to it, Sandy. Add an S to it. He'll give it to you.
So you're very close. You're very close to that.
Am I
but
about to
can't
have the
quite
chat
give it.
up? Since it's me versus us versus.
Yes.
Can I have the chat up?
Yeah, Ben, you can have the
Controversial,
chat.
but
Yeah.
Okay, jeez.
I'm going to allow
Can I
it.
have the
So
internet open? Actually, it won't help me. Let's be honest at this point with what this is. I
So-
can't Google that.
I'll read it again. Looking at Potter's ginger pal, I say hello informally and then do something drastic, but then I regain my senses and I remove the stick, but just one.
Oh, this
You guys
is
are close.
This is a rough
Ralph,
What
and
is
you're
Potter's
close, but
ginger pal? What
See,
is this a
I
reference to? It's going right over my head.
thought
Hey,
this was.
hold on, chat. Tell me what this is. What this is a reference to? Help your boy out.
Sandy knows, so Sandy can help you
Sandy,
out.
what is this a reference to?
I'm going to say the word here. I'm going to do Reese. I'm going to say this. I don't think means anything, but this is where I'm going to just throw this out there.
No one's
I
got a
have-
partial yet.
I have Cerrone. Let me break it down. Because I think it's funny. It's not in. But you're like looking
not
at
it.
Harry Potter's ginger pal. So I was like, C. Ron.
Gotcha.
And then the informal.
I get it.
I've never seen
Hi.
Harry Potter. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never
and then
seen any of the
not.
Harry Potters.
So it's not Cerrone,
It's
is
not.
what you're saying.
It's not Cerrone, but I like it now that you've explained it. It makes sense. Which is the point of this. Oh, George is trying to help. Well, it might not be George, but Six-Sided Paradise is in there trying to help you out. So I think I'm going to start giving you clues.
No. Just
I'll
give it
give you
to
the
us
breakdown.
one more time.
I'll give you the breakdown. It's 2 words. The first word is looking at Potter's ginger pal. That is the first word. The second one is I say hello informally and then do something drastic, but then I regain my senses and remove the stick, but just one. That's the second word. So there's 2 words. The first one is looking at Potter's ginger pal. It is George. And then the second one is I say hello informally and then do something drastic, but I regain my senses and remove the stick, but just one.
It's not Huron. Reese, Huron, the first word.
It's not.
No.
I'm gonna be a stickler.
I also said
Oh,
Vuron.
you know what, Ralphan, that's a decent guess. That I see where you've got it. It's not. Think simpler, but that's a decent guess. Decent. I actually like that more, but that's not what they're called, sadly. But that's that. Yeah, you're in the right area, but just think simpler. I'm going to start giving clues now.
Ben,
So
partial
we're
guess.
that.
Iron. No, iron.
Oh, yes, iron. So it's
Iron.
Ron. So Ron. So it's looking at
Yep.
Potter's ginger pal, Ron. So now just looking for the second, which is I say hello informally, then do something drastic. But I regain my senses and remove the stick, but just one.
Remove the stick.
We've got iron as the first one, or I-Ron, or EYE-Ron, but it's iron. Iron. Just the spelling. And then we're looking for the second, which is I say hello informally and then do something drastic. But then I regain my senses and remove the stick, but just one. It's not the Warriors. Think more obscure than the Warriors. It's not Iron what, Ben? Nice guess.
Okay, so it was. I say hello informally, then I do something drastic, but remove the.
Iron loins. It's not iron loins, but I would give you a victory point. I give you a victory point. So
Reese.
break it down.
Reese.
Yeah, Reese.
Iron Hydra.
It is the Iron Hydras.
Oh.
So I say hello informally,
So
which is
close.
hi. I do something drastic. Drastic, take out the stick is dra.
Yeah.
And then, but just the one, so sa.
man.
So it's Iron Hydras. Well
That
done,
was
Reese.
I missed like that. I had to decode that. The removing the stick. I'm like, what the hell is he talking
Yeah,
about? I was
the
like,
drastic.
drastic. Oh,
Dra. Ein Dras.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. That was good. That was a good one, Russ. That was tough.
Yeah.
Also,
So
that was really good. Dang, you know what, chat? You didn't do anything. You've never done anything. You're a bunch of low-life cheaters with Google open the whole time. I did all the work. Any work that was contributed to on this round was all me. You're a bunch of low-lifes, and you know what? I'll never play for you ever again.
This is the heel.
And I have to
This
fall
is the heel
back on-
turn.
Then I have to fall back upon you once more, and I have to follow my blade and return to you. I refuse. I'm
I will
talking
come
over
back
so you
groveling.
can't hear. I'm filibustering so you can't hear Reese's victory song. It was rigged.
so
It was
good.
stolen from us. This election was rigged.
it was like a backing track
I-
for Ben's
Yeah.
rant.
I
For my
think of you
tirade.
suck. So the Iron Hydras,
Oh, man.
yes indeed.
Reese.
There's not a lot known about them.
Reese is on one tonight, dude. Oh, my
Reese-
gosh.
So Reese didn't get the partial, but Reese got 5 victory points to 2. So 5, and he was versus the chat. So you know what, Reese, I'm going to give you an extra point, 6 to 2, because that's what you
Oh,
deserve, an
disrespectful.
extra point for that
Thank
win.
you so
Disrespectful.
So there's
I
not
should
a
get
lot
an extra
known.
point. I should get an extra
No,
point for
I
getting
mean,
the partial.
You know what, chat? Do you think Ben should get an extra point after his tirade? If they're willing to
what?
give it to
I
you,
love the chat. I've always
have
loved
it.
the chat. Chat is the best, the greatest chat we've ever seen. That's what people are
It's
saying.
so
People are
good.
saying it's the greatest chat.
People are saying, people are talking.
It's the
It's the
best.
best chat.
So I'm going to briefly say the Iron Hydras. You know what, Ben? Here you go. You get a victory point, an extra victory point if you can tell me which is the what successor chapter they're coming from.
You're gonna have
Iron
to go
Hydras.
Iron Warriors, friend.
Don't go Iron Warriors.
Reese, Alpha
Oh no!
Legion.
Oh, it's the Alfarius
Reese
guys.
gets it
Legion. Yeah.
again. Reese gets it again.
You know,
You know what, Ben? Go home.
I'm locking off. I'm locking off.
Ben's gone, and you know what? Good, because he wasn't helping anything.
No, I can't stand for that. I cannot stand for that. You can't hear the theme song. The theme song, I refuse it. I have to come back for that. I was about to take my kids out for ice cream, and now
Not
I'm
anymore.
back.
Kids, we're not going for ice cream. Daddy has to look up the Warhammer
No
Wiki
ice cream,
and
no ice
learn.
cream for you kids, because Reese sucked all the joy out of the living world.
Well, this has been Legions of Russ. We're gonna
I
hear.
can
Well,
balance between complimenting you and then being the worst human being who's ever lived.
It's a fine
Like,
line.
man, Reese on one tonight, killing it. And then I just
Awful humans.
accuse you of
him for
war
it.
crimes.
yeah. So there's not much else about the Iron Hydras. They took part in the Nakmund Rift War, which I didn't realize was a big thing, but apparently it's a big thing. It makes sense
Sure.
that we would do a kill team because there's Nakmund terrain. But let's play us out or play you out if you're listening, because we can't hear it. We can never hear it.
I can.
He's
So
just
this
gonna play the HBK song.
This is for you.
He's just
I
gonna
would love
play
that.
the HBK
I would
song.
actually
You know
love
what'd be
that.
great, Reese, is if you
This
had the
is-
HBK song lined up to pipe through that we didn't know about. That would
Would
be
we
the
be demonetized?
Amazing.
Are we monetized? I don't know what would
I
happen.
think
but
luckily
either,
the fact that I'm playing it terribly through my phone, through my
It's probably
microphone,
okay.
we will be okay.
so either
and Ben
you're going to hear.
filibustered the entire way through it too. So
So either you're now going to hear the Legions of Russ theme song or HBK's theme song. We're gonna
who knows?
let's play it up inside itself. Let's see which one we get. Lucky.
What are we
Good
gonna get?
luck to
What are we gonna
us.
get?
We'll only say this once.
Bingo.
It's finally time for
know I'm sexy.
Legions
Bingo,
of
sexy.
Russ.
Oh, the girls'
I
wives.
wanted it
Sexy
so
boy.
bad to still have the Legions of Rust thing, but just with that song cranking. But I'm not that organized.
I should have given you more time. Ben should have filibustered
I would
longer.
never have sullied the Legions of Rust themes. I respect the
Yeah.
they're too much. I respect it
graft.
far too much. Yeah.
Well, thank you very
Well-
much. That has been a Legions of Russ that we've not had it for a while, but we're back with
Good
a bit
stuff,
of Legions
gentlemen.
of Russ at the tail end. Thank
Good
you for
show,
chat.
boys. That was a good
for
show.
guessing.
Good mouthfeel on that one. That's a
Helping
deep
out,
reference
Ben.
for the boys back home. Reese,
Flame
you
Eagles.
son of a gun, you did it.
Great loin feel.
I came in hot, and it was my downfall, like a fool. And you know what? I deserved it. Honestly, I deserved it. Actually, I let you have it. Actually, you know what? Reese was telling us
full
before.
Circle.
Before
full circle. Reese
before
did
the show,
say
Reese was
it.
telling me. Reese was saying he's had a really bad week at work, and
he needs a win.
The car broke down, and he was having a really tough time, and his counselor was booked, so he couldn't get in. Plus all the allegations and stuff. And I thought, you know what?
Yeah, I mean,
just gotta let him have something. I gotta let him have something because I want him to be here next week when we record again. So I wouldn't want anything crazy to happen. So. That's my gift to you. I let him have it.
On that charming note of Ben backhanding complimenting me continuously, thank you very much to Ben the Champ Campbell, or maybe he doesn't deserve that nickname anymore.
Not the champ anymore. Ben the Popper. Ben the Popper here, passing it over to GFN Russ.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And I'm going to pass this back over to the real champ, the true champ, the people's champ, minus the affection. It's Reese.
What's with the back?
I'm ruined.
Just be nice to me, God.
I'm ruined.
Just let me have something.
How am I going to face my children? How am I going to take them to ice cream?
I think you should put them up for adoption. I think that's the kindness.
Taste like ash. It's all going to taste like ash in your mouth.
I think you send them to Australia to be raised by Reese. And that's the show. It's raised by Reese. Yeah.
Here's your new dad.
A huge thank you to the chat.
He knows what it takes.
Love having everyone in there, joining us live, joining the chaos. Glad that you all
He's a winner.
Join in for Legions of Russ. It's been too long. 07's in the chat to you. 07's in the mental chat to those listening to the podcast, wherever you are around the world. Thank you so much. Fingers crossed if we get our stuff together, we'll see you next week. Maybe.
Sounds great.
See you.
Who knows?